I should have connected you with Wi-Fi. Happy day, happy day. Hello, and welcome to the Sheila C. Hill Show. And that C stands for come on in this room and have a sit down so we can chit chat for a little while. Listen, this is the ultimate go-to podcast if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, lifestyle, or mental health. Listen, we're all about showing you how to live a better life. Now, if you're new to the show, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe and follow button. Listen, also, I just want to say hello, hola, bonjour, como está, ni hao, howdy, and what's going on, you guys? I love that you're here today. Now, I've always told you that I bring the best guests in the land to you right now. Today is nothing less than that. We have Miss Shakeila Bell of Dream Wellness in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in person and we're going to learn her story. So let's welcome Miss Shakeila.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, tell the audience a little about you.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Again, as she's already said, my name is Shakeila Bell, and I'm the owner of Dream Wellness. And what is Dream Wellness? Dream Wellness is a medical spa. Okay, so before I get started with that, if you can see here, my initials there is family nurse practitioner. Okay, so I'm a family nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse all of my adult life. All right, so becoming a family nurse practitioner allowed me to be able to open up a medical spa. And within this medical spa, I am offering different types of services, such as like IV hydration, Botox, weight loss, fillers, just going down that whole aesthetic route. So that's pretty much what Dream Wellness is. Right now, I am a solo provider, entrepreneur. I just opened up actually January of last year. So next year will be a whole 2 full years. Yes. So I'm just definitely excited to be here. Definitely humble beginnings. So
humble. This is very nice. Yes. I mean, this is like, okay, for those who are in the North Carolina area, this is in Ballantyne,
yes,
in Charlotte area. Listen, humble nothing. This is the bougie part of Charlotte.
It is.
So let's talk about that. All right, so let's talk about your journey, and congratulations. Let's talk about your journey entrepreneurship, because we know that is not for the weak at heart.
No.
No. So let's talk about that journey and how you just became to have this medical spa. How did it just hit your spirit? Like, I want to do this.
Okay. So I'll start off first though saying that I didn't come from a family of business owners. Okay. So I didn't have like anyone to give me the blueprint, anyone to map this out for me, to tell me what an LLC versus a PLLC, what type of account to put the money in, who to order from. I didn't have that at all. So it was definitely like nothing. I've always wanted though, say in the most recent years, my own business, and just thinking like, well, I don't have to, I don't want to sound bougie, but I don't have to work for anyone else. When I can open up my own business and do this myself, and I can hire out employees myself. So I was just thinking about one day journaling, and I write down a lot. And I think about in the Bible when it talks about writing your vision, making it plain. That's exactly what I was doing.
Come on, sis.
So I was writing in my journal back in 2019. I wrote down in January of 2019 the type of business that I wanted. I was like, okay, I want this many rooms. I want to offer this service. I want to have this many nurses, this many medical assistants. God, just have your way. I just want to be able to just have a big successful business. And actually, as I was writing down, there were services that I wrote down that I didn't even remember even writing. One of them was Botox, and another one was weight loss services. And I'm thinking like, wow, even when I actually opened up my business almost 2 years to the date of me writing that down in my journal, I was like, wow, I really wrote down Botox. I really wrote down weight loss management. And here I am opening up a business 2 years almost. It was like 2 years and like 1 day to the date of what I actually wrote it, of actually opening it up. My journey, I lived out in a small town called Linden, near Fayetteville, North Carolina. She's my neighbor, my old neighbor. And I remember just coming on out here to Charlotte, not knowing anybody. again, no blueprint, nothing, So
Yeah.
of course I joined some Facebook groups and try to just like do my Google research and such like that, and trying to figure out, of course, like location. I've always known that you got to go to the right place. You got to figure out if the services that you want to offer, is that what the people around you want.
That's true.
Because I can't be in a place where I'm like, hey, let's get rid of your Botox. I mean, your wrinkles with some Botox, and people are like, no, that's Hollywood stuff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look fake. And, you're like, no, you can just make softer lines, So you just have to definitely go where your services are needed. But it was definitely a faith journey. I remember one day sitting in the parking lot, and I think I was at work then, but I don't know, I was just in the parking lot writing again, and I clearly heard God say, open your own. And this was in October of 21. So I moved out to Charlotte August of 21. And I was still working part-time, going actually back and forth to Fuquay. Once a week, I was going back to Fuquay, just to have some type of money to come in. And I've actually did go through some interviews while I was here in Charlotte, and just none of them spoke to me. Actually, none of them actually called me back to hire me. So it was like, that was a good thing that I didn't start there. And then, my purpose was to start here.
Right.
And I just remember one day in the car, and God was just like, open your own. And when I tell y'all, doors begin to open and open and open and open and open. And I'm like, this is what it feels like when it's meant. This is what it feels like when God's like, hey, you do it, I got your back. Don't worry about it. I'm going to send you the resources. So that was in October. And then by January, boom, I'm opening up my own business.
Wow. That is amazing.
And I know no one out here in Charlotte. This is definitely has been a true faith journey.
Wow, that is a wonderful story / testimony.
Yes.
Dr. Tina says congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Hello. Okay, so let's talk about the faith journey, that faith walk.
Okay.
All right, so it seems easy, where you just said he spoke to you, and then boom, you're here. Tell me how, in that time of that faith walk, talk about that.
One part that I won't go too far in detail with, because we're on live, is that I had to drown out the noise. Mm-hmm. And I had to realize that my dream, my goal, my vision isn't for everybody. So not everybody understands that. And so I had to not wear my heart on my shoulders. And because that was one thing that was kind of hard for me to realize, like, wow, I might can't share this with someone that's very close to me, or this person that's very close to me, because I thought they would understand and just be happy. But some people don't always understand your goal. And it's like, well, why would you do that? Are you sure? Yeah. And I just have to go back to, but I knew what God told me. And this just feels so right. And every door is opening for me. So it wasn't easy in certain aspects. The business part, I feel like it was. I was able to take a few courses, and of course do like a lot of research, and even just asking other nursepreneurs that we call ourselves, just kind of asking them and some guidance and some direction. But I think more for me, it was just more of having the people, and I did have a support system. Don't get me wrong, Jamie, love you. That's my husband. That was a good support system. And I do have some friends that was my support system. Yes. But there were just some things that I had to shift my focus off of certain people in order to move into this part right here in my life.
Oh, that's major. I love that. And a lot of times when you're in that place, it is a lonely place, because you have to have that lonely place sometimes so God can really give you that direction, and so you have to drown out the noise, and you have to go, it's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the bottom, too, but it's lonely at the top. So choose your lonely. Yeah. But it really helps, because it helps people understand that it's not a conference call. So when God tells you to do something, it's not for them to understand. Yeah. It is for you to take it and run with it, right? Yeah. So that is a wonderful testimony. And kudos to you, because Shakeila, listen, you're doing it up. This is wonderful. And I'm sure it's going to encourage many people that are out there that are at that point now and feeling stuck. So now my question is, and I focus a lot sometimes about mental health, because entrepreneurship is lonely. and that mental health piece, that anxiety, that depression that may set in when things don't go right. How do you guard your mental wellness?
I pray a lot.
Okay.
And when I say I pray a lot, I pray a lot. And one of the prayers has been for, of course, I want God to enlarge my territory, and I want Him to send me more and more clients. Also, in that prayer, God, I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want to. I'm one of those people. I don't consider myself like a perfectionist or have like OCD or anything like that. But I don't want to be a person that has like messed up on like a medication or I forgot to send this or I forgot to do that. So it's just like my prayers are something that I feel like I have to do. It's a must. It's a must. Another thing that I love to do is singing. Sometimes I feel like if I can become a little I don't want to say overwhelmed, but I do want to say it's just like a lot in order to sometimes drown out the noise.
Okay.
I do like to kind of sing.
What's your go-to song?
Oh, it's a lot of
There's
them.
a lot of them.
I just have a lot of them. I mean, I was thinking about Jira just a while ago, or like an incredible God. There's an incredible praise, or just it's a lot of songs, just whatever, and just start free flowing.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, you just it's just, and sometimes even just humming, just to help soften that situation if it can be tense at times. So mental health is definitely a big deal. I actually have some people who come to me with if they're coming to me for say like a weight loss consultation.
Okay.
One of the things that I do talk about with that is, are they going through anything stressful? That's outside of like the normal red stoplight. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's stressful things that's going on at their jobs, within their home. They don't have to tell me what it is, but there have been people that I've been like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give you a referral to a counselor to talk to.
That's
because again, yes, the goal is for them to lose weight, but if you got the underlying issue that needs to be fixed, which is, speaking to a counselor, because it could be marriage, it could be a child, it could be job, just family. Family just issues. So mental health is very, very important. Glad you mentioned that. I'll say one more thing about it, because we're so freely, I feel like people do talk about like, oh, this person got high blood pressure, or they got diabetes, or I got to take this medication, I got to take this medication. But when it comes to mental health, no one wants to talk about they deal with anxiety.
Come on.
They deal with depression. They deal with bipolar. Yeah. It's a condition also, so and that's why I feel like a lot of people don't go get the help that they need.
Yes.
But they'll take a medication, for this, or they'll do that for that. But when it comes to mental health, that's just as important as your physical, because actually your mental health can wear down on your physical health. So mental health is very, very important. If you've ever thought about speaking to someone, don't feel like, well, I'm not crazy, I don't need to talk to anyone, or they're just going to ask me questions that don't even make sense.
Right.
Trust me. If you are at the verge, or you're thinking that you need to speak to someone, that you feel like, look, okay, I'm praying, or I'm talking to a friend, and I just need more, it's okay. That is what these therapists are there for.
That is so true. Thank you for bringing that up, because so many times we have this stigma of mental health, and a lot of times it's negative. So we have to understand, we have to open the conversation, and that's why I love bringing things up in the show, because everyone goes through it. It's just a matter of how they're dealing with it. And it's okay not to be okay, but just don't stay there.
Right.
Seek help and understand that you are worthy to get the help that you need. Now, with that, it almost goes hand in hand in a sense with your mental wellness and self-care. How do you handle self-care? What do you do for self-care?
Exercise some.
Okay.
Sometimes I take those walks through. Well, I ain't gonna say some. I go often. Whether if I walk around my neighborhood for actual exercise, or I just walk around to clear my mind. I walk.
You travel a lot too, because I
do.
See you in Jacksonville. I'll be jet set. I'm like, where are you going now?
I'm telling you, but even in those moments, we still take time to say, like, you know what, we're gonna sleep in, Or, you know what, we're just going to just relax and just watch whatever they may have on this TV channel or station, wherever we're at. We're just going to find something in English and just like watch it. But definitely having to take your own time, even if self-care can be something as simple as long showers. Long showers, reading a good book, you know, finding yourself into a good book. So those are at least some of the few things that I do is walking around to try to clear my mind. Music. Yeah.
I love that, because a lot of people, when they say they want to do something for themselves, they always think it has to cost money.
Oh no.
But sometimes, like you're saying, just sitting in a quiet area, close the door, read a book, or just have time to yourself. That's self-care.
Yes.
There's
for free.
There's so many ways that you can focus on self-care, but you have to be able to pause and put it in your calendar when I'm going to take self-care, or when you know you're frustrated or you need it. Value yourself enough to pause and take care of yourself, because that's so important. Now, Shakeila, what would you say to a new entrepreneur, and they have all these aspirations and they have all these goals? What would you tell them at the beginning?
Well, since I heard mine clearly about open up your own business, I would ask them to pray and seek God. I mean, and if they're a non-believer, I don't know what to say. That, you know, about the whole praying part, I still probably would say it like, hey, make sure that this is what you want to do, because the key to it is that even though I wrote my vision down in 2019, it doesn't mean that it was meant to open up in 2019. So just because you may say that you have this thought or this idea for your business, you want to make sure that you are doing it at the right time. It is okay before you actually start putting in money to anything, to make sure that you are doing your research about your location, about your services, about what's needed. Just because, like, I'm a nurse doesn't mean that I'm going to go out and do all of these other, say, lasers and esthetician type things. You have to get training, you know, so making sure that you're doing your research first, making sure that you have, I say, 3 to 6 months of money saved up. And one other important thing I would say is that if you're an entrepreneur, at least have another source of income before you actually quit and become full-time entrepreneur. Okay. So like, even with now, like, I still see veterans on Mondays, you know, that's still like, it's okay to have an additional stream of income. That's totally fine. Yeah. But making sure that, that you do have some income to come in to pay your house bills and your car note while you are building your clientele. So making sure that you know, don't just quit and just go, hey, I'm just going to go boom right now, unless you have the money to. Okay. But it's okay to still have some other passive income coming in. You want to make sure that you are looking around in your area to see if people are already doing those services. Like, because even if I came right here to Valentine, I kid y'all not, as soon as I moved in here, there was a company right next this wall right here. Okay, this wall right here, that was a bigger name company. They had been out for a while and doing some of the services that I was doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, they just moved in beside me. But then I had to remember, well, God, what you got for me is for me. Come on. And I kid y'all not, I never saw the person actually working there. They moved out. So this was somebody that like moved in and moved like right out. So I'm just like, again, thank you. Like, you know, but again, I really believe that is because I'm at where he wants me to be. Now, if I just went, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And God, you just bless where I'm at. Right. You know, then you may have that person that may move in next to you and you're like, okay, now they're getting all these customers and stuff because you went to the wrong place. You know, you wasn't obedient. So, I don't know. I just end up turning a lot of stuff into spiritual stuff. I just seem like I just be talking about stuff all the time. But well,
that's your life, though.
It's so this is what comes out. Right. Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, and that's what I focus on a lot too. It's just like, you know, you trust God and you live it. You know, and like you were saying, the praying part of it, let that become part of your life, so you can have that direction. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Right. You know, but right. Everything worth having is worth fighting for. And, you know, you mentioned about moving, you know, as far as starting and doing your research, that's so important. And studying your competition is another thing as well. Study your competition, see what they're doing, see what works for them, check out their social medias, the websites, and different things so you can have a gauge and put your own spin on it. Yes. Great information. And for those, we are in her suite here in Valentine. And right next to us, she's servicing. She has a wonderful customer right
Yes,
here
yes.
that she's giving IV therapy. So listen, guys. First of all, COVID ain't gone nowhere. I mean, it just sort of calm down. But you want to make sure that you have everything that you need. You get your vitamin shots. You need to make sure your system is ready for what's coming. You know, your vitamin D and all of that stuff. This is who you see, and contact her. So how can people contact you on your social media and your website?
Okay, so on Facebook, I am at Dream Wellness PLLC. On Instagram, I believe it's Dream Wellness _ PLLC. Again, my name is Shakeila Bell. Yep, I believe I'm Shakeila Bell on Facebook. And then on Instagram, I think I'm Queen _ Bell. Yeah, so it's a couple of different names, but yeah. So even if you put it in the chat, yeah. So actually, I'm still out here in Charlotte. And if you're watching this later, you want to write the number down. It's 704-275-8298. That is the business number. But again, it's Dream Wellness. If you look up Dream Wellness Charlotte, I'm the only Dream Wellness out here in Charlotte.
And we'll put all your contact information in the show notes as well, so they can contact you, make it easier. All right, now what would you say? What would be your parting words or words of advice in life? Because you're a mother, you're a wife, you're entrepreneur, you're a boss.
Yeah.
So in any of those areas, what will you share with the people as we leave?
Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. It's just as simple as that. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Whether it was with your kids, you know, you think about how am I going to get them practice? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And you got it done because you put your mind to it. If you want to open up your business, you know, whether you're doing like you're researching, you're praying, you're seeking all these areas, or what do you want to do? Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for this interview.
Welcome. Thank you.
It was a blessing to have you on the Sheila C. Hill Show. We are going to wrap up. Listen, you heard everything that she said. And if anything resonated with you, please send us a comment or a thumbs up, a heart emoji, whatever, and just let us know that you heard what she said and take it to heart. Now, all her information is in the comments, so you can just reach out to her. Do you do free consultations? Do you consult?
I consult, but not for free.
She consults, but not. That's what I'm talking about. She knows her value. She values her time, and that's the people that you want to connect with. She gave very good advice. Listen, at the end of the day, don't let anyone dim your light. Shine your light brightly. Follow your dreams, and listen, she said, pray to God. You need to get that prayer life on up. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe. And at the end of the day, just understand you are loved and highly appreciated. And listen, if you want to buy an ad or you want to be a guest, go to the SheilaCHillShow.com. We're taking sponsorships, or you can put an ad. Listen, because this is a premiere podcast all over the country. Listen, my top 10 countries is India, Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, the United Kingdom. Don't you want your brand to go all out? The SheilaCHillShow.com. Just know that you're loved. At the end of the day, let's get ready to go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Until next time on the Sheila C. Hill Show. Have a good day.
Bye.
Boom.